start over here. The first thing you want to do for your vocals is just make sure you have your tracks well recorded. In this case, I have 3 options out here. I put my main vocal, and then I made a copy of this vocal. I put it on the bottom, and then I put a chorus just very little in here. Why did I make a copy of this? Because I felt that it was just sounded better. You don't have to do that, but you can try it. I just copy and put in the right spot, as you can see over here. Okay, so whatever I apply to the first one, I have to apply for the second one because they're supposed to be the same thing. Okay, so once you get that, just make sure you have the right pitch tune to your vocals. So that's the first thing. Make sure they're on the right pitch. So in this case, I'm using Auto-Tune. And Auto-Tune is very easy to use. All you have to do is make sure you are using the right voice. You have these 3 options. This is in case you want to use instruments. This for instruments, but Auto-Tune works better just for vocals, in my opinion. And then over here, I choose, in my case, since I have a very, I'll say soft voice, and I use soprano. Soprano is mostly for girls, for women, and also alto can be used for a female. Why? Because alto is basically a low female voice. Like if you don't sing very high and you are mostly on low notes most of the time you're singing, like your voice is just sounded more deep, you want to use this option. And tenor is basically the high vocal for a male, or a regular, I'll say, boy voice. Now, low male is if you have actually very low notes, very deep notes. Okay, so if you pitch is usually on the low notes, and so you want to choose either or, and you can try the 3 of them, and then most of the time, if you're a guy, you pick this one. If you're a girl, you pick this one, and this is for if you have a very bassy vocals. And then it's okay if you made a mistake over here. You are going to figure it out once you hear the sounds and you're like, okay, it doesn't sound like me, so you have to change it, okay? And then the second thing is make sure you're on the right key. So if your song is on C, you want to put C. If your song is in a C sharp minor, etc., etc., you pick the key in here and you choose between these 2, major and minor chord. Okay, so that's the tonality of your song. And I have another video where I explain in detail how to figure out what key are you using for your song. I'll put something on this video so that you can go into that link and just go into that, or you can figure out, just go to my channel and I put something related to Auto-Tune, how to use Auto-Tune, and I explain in detail all this, especially this part, which is, I'll say, the hardest thing. Once you have this, the third thing I do is just check your how much correction do you want. Retune speed, this is the one that you want to use the most, and in my case I like to use these 2. If you want to sound more natural, you want to use this between 20, I would say 20, 30, and then just click and play with that. Okay, and let's suppose I want to put this on 0 and see how my voice sounds. Here we go. Okay, if I don't want to sound robotic, then you start playing around with this number in here. Let's say I put 24. And then you start out. It doesn't sound too robotic. But if you don't want that to be noticeable, you switch over here. So basically what's happening, if you see a note going over 50 or minus 50, that means it's a little bit off, either too flat or a little bit sharp. So that's over here tells you a little bit where you are on the tune. Okay, so anyway, so that's the first thing you want to do, check your tune. And then after that, something else you want to check is the volume of your song, or how you're singing. So the volume is, you can find it over here in this, that it says automation. And then if you want to edit, like over here, I'm editing this one over here. You can see, let's see, I like to use this one just to make it larger and see the dynamic of this, how am I singing, like how high or on volume. This is just to show you the volume. And let me do this, so you want to always use these two, to make it so that you can see exactly. If I don't, you can use it this or either or. I like to use it that way so I can see it better. And in order to adjust anything, all you have to do, like if you want to adjust this little part, you see this is a little bit, the volume's a little bit higher and this is coming down. So let's suppose I want to raise this up a little bit. So all I have to do is make two dots with my mouse over here. So I click 1, 2, then I click 1, 2, and I'm going to be able to raise this, just this little part. So anything that you want to adjust, all you have to do is put two dots in there and then you can adjust it. So let's suppose I'm all the way to the back over here, and let's say this part, it was, you can go either up or down on the volume. So let's say I want to raise this up. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and you can, and you can move it up. Okay, so that's the volume, and it tells you exactly how much you are putting up or down. Let's say I'm over here and it says -8, so that means it's a little bit the volume down. And then if you want to come back to your track, and over here in the bottom I have the vocal. So if you want to see this part a little bit better in another window, just click over here on the scissors and the editors, then double click again, and you are going to be able to see all your vocals in here. So let's say I got the volume. What else do I have to do to the vocals? Well, you want to make sure that there's no extra sounds in your singing, like or some weird sounds. For instance, I was noticing in some parts of my vocals that, you know, sometimes you can hear your tongue, or it seems like you're biting, eating something while you're singing. So just want to make sure on the silence part, like the parts that you don't sing, that your breath is exactly what you want people to be hearing your song. So you can correct those things. Let's suppose, let me play over here, and like on this silence, you can hear my that I'm breathing over there. So if you don't like that, all you have to do is come over here to the end. You want to make sure you take a close look over here, and then you click Command so that you can have your scissors selected over here. So you have your arrow, pointer tool, and then you have your scissors in here. You want to make sure you select that, and then hit Command, and you basically cut over there. And let's do another cut in here. And let's say you don't like it. You just don't like it, so you erase it. Just click delete and it will erase it for you. So you don't want to leave these things like that because it will be noticeable that you cut. So you want to make sure an icon like this one that I'm over here, like you see, like two arrows, and that's where you create your faders. So anytime you do a cut, just at the beginning, at the end, you want to make sure you use these things over here, so it sounds more natural. Okay, So let me go back because I need to hear it to make sure that I want to actually delete that. And let me just put it back to where it was. So that's where I'm working right now. You can see I make the cuts and I put the faders in there. In order to do this part, you need to put your singing, the track where you record your voice, in solo. Why? Because you in order to notice those little things, you have to put it in solo so you can hear clearly everything that is going in your voice. And then after that, once you have your pitch, you have the volume, you have your editing the vocals, you have what exactly you need on your vocals, like your voice, nothing else. Then something else you can do to your vocals is EQ and compression your vocals, and there are different ways to do this. In this case, let me go over here, and so I have the vocals over here. Let's see. Okay, in this case I'm using Logic, and it already gave me by default this EQ over here. So EQ is very easy. All you have to do most of the time is just to cut a little bit the bass notes that are too low, too muddy, and then raise a little bit up the high notes, and then go down in some of these over here. So with the S you want to cut it a little bit here and so forth, and you can play around. Now if you don't understand this one and you're kind of like I don't know, you can also use the presets that already are over here that are great, and you can check and see which one do you like the most. So let's say I want to compress vocals, so you click and it will give you exactly how the settings have to be like, and then you can come over here and then just adjust it a little bit so that you can get the taste that you want on the take. And so that's just in case if you don't have too much idea how EQ works and you're like, I just want it to sound good. So you can click one of these, click several so you can hear the vocals and make sure you find something that you like. And once you have that, the last thing I'll focus is just to hear the whole thing together. So you can hear your vocals with the instrumentation, and then after that I think you should be good to go. Then you can start thinking about mixing and mastering, and then there's what you over there at that step you can adjust levels of volume as a main thing. Okay, well, I hope you like this video. I hope you find it helpful and hope to see you on the next videos. Bye bye.